What's up guys, Nathan from NCBHP here. So today we've got a video telling you 5 things I love about my Polo GTI. From the looks to the modifications that I've done and just in general, things that I really like about the car and what caused me to buy it. And any respective buyers wanting to, get into a Polo GTI, here's some things you might want to look out for when purchasing your car and things you might want to do in the future. So we'll get into the video anyway. I'll show you what I like about the car and please like and subscribe and keep showing the support. So fingers crossed this summer's going to be a good one. I'll be bringing you plenty of content with not only the Polo GTI, but other cars as well. So we'll get into the video then. 5 things I love about the Polo GTI. So if we're going to go for like out the factory OEM looks of the car that I really love and why I bought it, as you can see, the paneling, there's all these sort of like indents here. I forgot what you call them, to be honest. But anyway, on the panels, it's sort of got really aggressive line, as you can see on the door panels, and the bottom skirt on the sill as well. It just makes it look that bit more expensive and sporty compared to the standard sort of model you get out the factory. As you can see, the lines sort of follow the car around, and I believe you get wider arches on the Polo GTI compared to the normal Polo. They do look very sporty, and sort of like how a hot hatch should look, really, like above the sort of OEM sort of standard model that you get, sort of like the R-line, is it, that's underneath this, and then obviously the SE models beneath it. But yeah, the aggressive lines on the car just really make it look that more sporty and give it a much more aggressive feel, which it should for a hot hatch, because you'd spend your money, you want it to look good and aggressive and sort of have a road presence. That is basically what you buy these cars for. If you were into sort of that kind of thing, you would be buying just the standard sort of model. But yeah, definitely the body styling of this car from the factory really sets it off. I did have the wings on the side. I have had to take them off because the 3M tape, I didn't fancy drilling into the car. It was rotting a little bit, so I'm going to get that re-stuck back on. But that's another modification that you can do to your Polo GTI if you get one that will really make it set off and look a lot better. But yeah, definitely the body paddling and the styling and sort of like the aggressive lines are definitely a thing that I really like about the Polo GTI. It's just worth saying as well, this is the non-plus GTI, so this is the sort of like the bog standard spec, and when I picked this car up, it literally was bog standard. It was an ex-lease car, I believe, that had been given back early, so that's why I got a fairly good deal on the car. So it literally was bog standard spec. It came with the standard Parker wheels. It didn't have any of the black wing mirror caps on, and it was literally just as the car comes out the factory. So regarding the looks then, stuff that I've done to it that I really like, I mean, it's got to be the wheels, the Polo FLE wheels. They are just stunning. I mean, they do look a bit brown at the minute because I've not had a chance to clean the car, but they just really set the car off. They sort of remind me of the Pretorias in a way that you would get on a Golf GTI as an added extra, or a Golf R. And I just can't believe the change. The one thing out of the factory that I really did want to change, as I've expressed in quite a few videos, is the fact that I wanted the Parker wheels changing. These were really averagely priced, and I think probably the best looking on the market that I could have got. So definitely for me, the wheels were one massive change that has really made me fall in love with the car and has literally transformed the look. So as you can see as well, I didn't realise, but these wheels, I believe, have built-on spacers. I did not order the spacers, and unfortunately I did get a puncture at the back of the car. So obviously the wheel had to come off when I got the tyre changed, and I saw that the actual spacer seems to be stuck to the wheel. So I believe that they come with spacers, so it can give the car a much more aggressive stance. If you do come from here, as you can see, the wheel sort of concaves outwards, so they'll look even better as well. My e-back springs have arrived, so that's another video in itself, but the ride height of the car will be getting changed, and it will look so much more aggressive when it's more sort of like squatted to the floor to give it that more presence on the road. But yeah, wheels are definitely one thing that I really love about the car. A massive thing that is a must, I believe, for the Polo GTI is getting the upgraded exhaust. So this isn't from factory, this is done, I chose a Miltech system. This is things I love about the Polo GTI, but I can definitely tell you now, when I picked the car up, the exhaust tone was honestly horrendous. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. There is a video before I had the exhaust put on, but it has massively changed the way this car sounds. You do get the odd DSG sort of, I hate saying that with a passion. People who watch my videos who aren't really into cars say, what are you on about DSG farts? And if you're a car person, you definitely know what a DSG fart is on a hot hatch. However, you do have to hit the gear change at a certain rev, and you sort of have to understand, sort of from driving the car, where the pop will come from. So when going from first to second, the pop will kind of come from a sort of around 4,500 revs. If you change up when putting your foot down, it will make a nice sort of fart. It just fucking sounds horrendous. But anyway, yeah, it sounds mint. And the Miltech system, with this being a GPF car, which I will come on to in another video, of sort of what a GPF is. It's basically a petrol particulation filter that sort of filters the emissions that is now a legal requirement. And if you were to get it taken off, it is illegal, but who knows, we might look at doing that in the future, make it sound a lot better. However, the Miltech system, I really do recommend it. It is expensive, don't get me wrong. I think I just got the standard one with the titanium tips, I believe. Might not even be that, I don't even know the standard tips. I'll just show you down here. They are very mucky, but just sort of like the silver finish tips, or polished tips, that's the one. The titanium ones are a fortune. I think they were about 700 quid, and you can spend a lot more on black tips, titanium tips maybe. I think the titanium ones look really good. They're like a purpley burnt colour. But it is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely worth it for the sound of the car. It really enhances it. And surprisingly, I've not noticed much of a change in fuel consumption at all. This car drives fantastic. I do long motorway journeys every day, and it sounds, the more you drive the car, the better it sounds. Yeah, definitely Polo GTI Miltech GPF back system ticks all the boxes. With this being a performance hot hatch, obviously one thing I love about the car is the performance. It handles fantastic around the corners. It's so light, and especially with the lightweight Polo wheels, it's even lighter. With it being a front wheel drive, you can sling it around the corners. I can't believe how well this car grips. I have got fairly decent tyres. They're not Pirellis or Pilot Sports or anything like that, but they're decent tyres. And this car, I took it out on a drive not too long ago with a drivers club, and obviously you're keeping up with stuff that is a lot faster than what I have. And I was so impressed with the car. Like, flinging it around the country roads were absolutely fantastic, and literally smiles per gallon. I can't fault it. It's just so fun. It's such a fun drive. With it being so light, it's so nimble. You can fling it into a corner, obviously with the traction on. You're going to be pretty safe. I mean, it's not overly powerful at 200 brake horsepower, but it is such fun. So then, guys, that just about wraps up the video. I genuinely lost count of how many points I'd made, but I think there's about 5 in there, so we'll stick with it. But yeah, if you're looking to get a Polo GTI, I hope this helps give you things that I like about the car, and hopefully you will too. It's just worth saying as well, it's such a fantastic car for the money, like sub 20 grand. If you're looking to get into sort of an entry-level car compared to its competitors, I'd say, for me, this is a better car than the ST. The ST, the looks out there for me, and I like the DSG box. And VW is a great brand, isn't it? German engineered. It's not far off a Golf GTI, in all honesty. There is quite a difference in sound and stuff like that, but performance-wise, I think there's about 45 brake horsepower. This car is tunable to match it. I know that one of the cars has recently been sold that was about 300 brake horse that had the OPF delete in stage 2, so you can get the performance out of this car. It just is hellishly expensive. VW have made this car very hard to modify in terms of the engine, so it is something I'll look at down the line, but at the minute I'm pretty happy with how it is. It is very economical, as I say, and once you start going stage 1, stage 2, the economic factor goes straight out of the window. So yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Please like and subscribe. There's plenty more coming. I can only say that once more, but this time I actually mean it. We're going to get the channel rolling in, weekly content. So I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Like and subscribe, drop me a comment. My Instagram is at @NC_BHP. If you want to ask any questions about the car, feel free. I usually get back to people in, a couple of days or whatnot. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.